Oh boy, we got more gay news in this, the absolute most degenerate month of the year. And this one right here, well, it's kind of hilarious when you take a look at everything in totality. Call of Duty gives away a free Pride gift pack that includes transgender-themed bullets and guns. Well, you take a look at some of the most recent mass shooting events, and it's like, wow, you guys are going a little too on the nose. I understand that you guys, especially over at Call of Duty, traipsed into the base territory with, what was that, Cold War, when you had Yuri Bezmenov footage in the background of your trailers. It's like, yeah, maybe you're on to something, and it's like, maybe somebody didn't quite think through the virtue signaling this time around, but yeah, ended up coming off a little bit more honest than maybe anybody anticipated, but I don't see this going very well, guys. Activision Blizzard provided players of its Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone game with free Pride gift that includes transgender-themed bullets and guns. Yes, you only see the gun, but you can kind of see a few rounds down there in the mag, and yeah, no, they're definitely bedecked in certain color patterns, and it's like, wow, very interesting. Company's official website, it declared Call of Duty is for everyone, and we're proud to celebrate Pride Month by offering 7 different weapon camo variants, each representing the color of the different gay flags. Available as a free gift pack. Wow, they'll go ahead and give that away, but then they'll charge for literally everything else, huh? Find them in store in the single bundle, right? Of course, it also shared various screenshots of the weapons that you can see below. Yeah, that's all fantastic. Like, I remember playing the original Modern Warfare 3, and if anybody had a gun that looked like that, oh boy, you wouldn't take it into the lobby, that's for sure, especially with open mics on. Ex-user Bob Network UK noted that the camo allows players to obtain transgender-themed bullets as well. They cover the bullets on some guns, trans bullets. They're going to hate this one. Oh, yeah, buddy. Gustavo Cardenas, a ex-user, corroborated that the intended transgender-themed bullets and one firearm. Yeah, they ain't going to like this. No, they definitely aren't. But why is it that why is it that they are deciding in the waning times of Pride Month and all of its hysteria, why now? Why are they doing this stuff now? Oh, because you see, it's still, for as much as the general public is pretty much over all of this debauchery, it's still permeating these games developer circles. And this is why, man, this is why I like talking about gaming, and this is why I've been focusing in on it so much, because this is a hobby that I love. I've spent thousands of dollars on the medium, and it is something that for the better part of a decade that I got myself out of, because I seen the writing on the wall. This was even before all the Gamergate stuff really kicked up. This was back when just feminist frequency was just starting to knock at the door with hello fellow gamers type rhetoric, and it's like, yeah, I could do without all of this stuff, and I could just see the AAA games quality was just steadily going downhill, and there was only so many $5 indie titles that I could just, plunk in and kill a couple of hours with before I was like, yeah, I can do literally anything else with my time. And because, I didn't have a platform, I didn't have a voice in order to affect any change. Like a lot of people who are talking out right now, they just thought that, hey man, their opinion didn't matter, because you had the games journalists that were over the top yelling and screaming that gamers are dead and it's our opinions that matter. And hell, if we had an ability, us disaffected types from the early 2010s, we had an ability to fight back, maybe we'd be past all of this stuff, and maybe we'd be back to the good old-fashioned days of the late 2000s where every month, every couple of weeks, you were cranking out all-time titles. Like, what was that, 2008 or 2009? That had Super Mario Galaxy 2, BioShock. I think that was, 2007, right? Where you had BioShock. Was it Super Mario Galaxy 2? I could be mixing up a couple of years. But this was within, a couple of years of one another. Yeah, I had an all-timer Mario game, the original Assassin's Creed, Mass Effect, BioShock, franchises that defined generations. And now, within the past couple of years, do you even have a handful of games anybody's going to remember in 5 years? And why is that? It's because you have developers focusing on the power in Pride as opposed to Nintendo power. Leaked internal email from Activision declares there is power in Pride. Really isn't, guys. A leaked internal email from Activision declares that despite the fire and despite the smell of smoke, everything is fine. The Titanic is not sinking. The month of June is power in pride. As shared by YouTuber Yellow Flash, the email states, games are a powerful medium for expressing identity and fostering connection as they allow us to tell diverse stories and create inclusive spaces where everyone sees themselves reflected. That statement right there, just give us one example where that has actually worked. Tell us how by prioritizing diversity, inclusion, and equity, it has actually made a product or a project better. Just tell us once. No, you can't. Not even one example? All right. As it continues, as we celebrate gay community during Pride Month in the U.S. this June with our power and pride, we're reminded of the strength and unity that comes from embracing our true selves, supporting one another, get back to making games, fucks, and telling our stories in everything that we do. Telling our stories. No. Tell the game story. Go back and focus on that shit. Almighty. Next time that I hear some goof complain about crunch time, I'm just going to go ahead and run back this stupid ass email. Fucking dorks. Oh, there is nothing true about embracing disordered sexual lifestyles. Yeah, exactly. You're making games, okay? This is the classic example of, ma'am, this is a Wendy's. What are you doing here? Stop talking about, I just, it depends on what makes my genitals twitch. It's like, no, go back there and program the sound on the LMG. Okay, that's what you've been hired for. I don't give a shit how many different leather bedecked teddy bears that you have. I don't care the length of your new strap on. Don't give a shit. Focus on the length of the barrel of the assault rifle that you're programming for. Okay, good, got it, fantastic. Transgender ideology is also unnatural and an attack on one's God-given identity. All right, now we're just getting a little bit far right of field. Nevertheless, the email continues. Seeing yourself and what you can do make all the difference in how you show up. Oh, shut up. I'll go ahead and run it back once again. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, my favorite game. It's at least my second favorite game of all time, and I got to run back my favorite just to check if it's not the best game that I've ever played. But do I see myself represented in any of those characters? Abso-fucking-lutely not. Am I a tall, one-armed black guy? Nope. Am I a 48-year-old red dog with a glowing tail? No. Am I a flower seller? Nope. Am I the most perfect female ass kicker? Let me check. Yeah, nope. Am I a blonde-haired super soldier? Can we go down the list anymore? No, I don't see myself represented in any of those characters. But it's still the best experience that I've had with video games in at least 10 years. But then again, I'm not a narcissist, okay? I'm not some solipsistic asshole that thinks that my personal identity, my story is more important than anything else that I do. Cool. If you feel so strongly about that, go ahead and tell your story. Oh, wait, you can't get it off the ground because your story sucks. Some of the ways we've approached this at Activision is through the debut of our Activision first non-binary character Catbat from Crash Team Rumble. What the hell are you talking about? Catbat is also voiced by gender-fluid actor who uses all pronouns. Jesus, is that supposed to be the follow-up to Crash Team Racing? I hear good things about that, but that was a long time ago, and Catbat, I don't think that one's going to be sticking around. Hell, I would say that there's about a 42% chance that it's not going to be sticking around. It's unclear how anyone physically sees themselves as an ugly mutant creature. Well, again, somebody uses all pronouns. I'm just saying. The creature is unlikely to showcase anyone's lived experience either. Yeah, it's a cat, it's a bat, and it's also everything at the same time. But those are also the same people that are probably unironically applauding Activision's stupid idea of putting trans colors on guns and bullets. But let's also run back the idea that maybe this is not exactly a good idea because, as Grums points out, shout out to Grums, the lawsuit danger is real. I'm sorry, lawsuit? Sandy Hook families, oh boy, put Remington out of business, later sold under the theory that Remington advertising recklessly encouraged the violence by their marketing. And I mean, you take a look at this, okay, and as many problems as this community wants to go ahead and bring up, you offer them obvious solutions like this, and well, one thing could lead to another. This is the first time the legal theory succeeded. What are we talking about specifically? All right, Uvalde families also accuse Instagram, Call of Duty, and rifle maker of grooming a gunman. Oh, so you mean Call of Duty is actually being sued right now? Now, that was one of these rare instances recently of a mass event being perpetrated by somebody that isn't embraced by a certain community. Just a run-of-the-mill head case. But, I mean, if the families from the Nashville shooting want to run it back, I mean, Who's to say? So Activision, Call of Duty just put their entire video game industry in jeopardy with the latest virtue signal. Illegal needs to take down the Pride ammo and Pride operator skins immediately, or it'll just be used against them. That would be absolutely hilarious, and definitely would be peak hilarity. It's just now that, you know, Microsoft owns all of this stuff and that Warzone prints more money than the Federal Reserve, they could go ahead and stomach a lawsuit. But it also just goes to show you that, yeah, for as many people that are speaking against this absolute nonsense, making a mockery out of it, the only way that things change is through the legal system, and we know how corrupt that shit has been recently. So best thing you can do is actively mock this stuff into the ground, and thankfully there's quite a few voices doing this. And oh yeah, if a lawsuit does manage to come across somebody's desk, just feel free to cover it and make sure that these head cases get the appropriate coverage that they deserve. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.